Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Monday. Today I'm going to read you one of my favorite stories. This used to be one of my absolute favorite books when I was a little girl. This story is called Where the Wild Things Are. And the story and pictures are by Maurice, Sendak. It's a cool title page. Interesting pictures. Wonder what this story is going to be about. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. See Max. So he's wearing a wolf suit. And another. So he's making mischief. That means he's getting himself into trouble. Mischief is another word for trouble. He's chasing his pets. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." And he was sent to bed without eating anything. Oh, he got in a little bit of trouble for being mean to his mommy. He wasn't being very kind. So she sent him to bed without his supper, without his dinner. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. That's interesting. I see his bed's turning into trees. And grew. Look, his floor is turning into grass. Oh, do you think he likes it? It looks like he's laughing. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around him. Look at his bedroom. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. So he's sailing away from his bedroom. I see his boat says Max. See, that's a word we could tap out. Max. Max. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. He arrived in a new land. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. A little bit scary. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. Little old Max in his wolf suit scared the monsters, scared the wild things. And they made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." See, they gave him a crown because he's a king. Well, this page doesn't have any words, but it looks like they're having a party. Dancing around, howling at the moon. Swinging from the trees, having lots of fun. Look, Max is on the back of the wild things. They're still stomping around, having a big old party. "Now stop," Max said. And he sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Well, who do you think he misses? Then all around, from far away and across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. Where do you think he's going to go? Think he's going to try to go home? But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and he waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found a supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. So let's see, was this story real or was it fantasy? If you're thinking fantasy, you're right. I don't think Max ever really left his bedroom. I think it was all a dream or maybe a daydream. Maybe he was imagining it using his imagination. Maybe he was so mad at his mom for not feeding him that he thought up this crazy world with all the wild things. But really he was in his own room the whole time. That's what I think. What do you think? The story is called Where the Wild Things Are. And that was our 295th story. We have 5 more to go until we reach 300. All right, boys and girls, I will see you later this week for more read-alouds.